And speaking of Bill Simmons, and let me just go off on this jag for just 1 second. Bill Simmons is, from ESPN's the sports guy. Also, Dave Dameshek's on ESPN as well, I think.
On the radio.
He does a podcast as well. Bill Simmons and Dave Dameshek have both been banned from doing the show from their
Bill
bosses.
Told me. Yeah, he said it got a little too jizzy.
Banned. Yeah.
Too much jizz talk.
It was too jizz laden.
For ABC, which owns ESPN.
But here's the thing. Dameshek got banned from doing this show, too. Now, let me just say a little something to the retards who call themselves the bosses over there, because we live in a fucking time where everyone does that. Good call, good call, good call. You're running a fucking business, okay? This is one of the most popular podcasts on the internet. Your two clients, Bill Simmons does a podcast, popular, probably not as popular as this podcast, but very popular. And Dave Dameshek does a podcast as well, not nearly as popular as Bill Simmons, but he still does a podcast. Now, you guys generate income via those podcasts. We share the same audience, essentially. I mean, white guys who don't have delicate sensibilities, are in their 30s and like to play fantasy football.
Sure, there's no white guy in his 30s who does not read Bill Simmons.
And doesn't like to make fun of a culture or an ethnicity different than his own.
Sure.
Right.
All right. So we share a lot of the same audience. When I do Bill Simmons' show, I get his audience, and when he does my show, he gets my audience, and so on and so forth. Now, Bill Simmons came on this show and said something last time that may have pissed off way less than 1% of his audience. Way less than 1%. And people go, 1%? Well, there's thousands of people that listen to his podcast. I guarantee he didn't get one shitty letter for every 100 people that were listening to the podcast.
Why would his audience care about jizz talk?
That's the whole thing. They're a bunch of guys who love beer, right. And the only thing they love more than beer is bone-crushing hits. They love it when LT's coming around the backside and there's a compound fracture of Theismann's shin bone.
Yeah, he's not the poet laureate.
This is what fucking drives me nuts about these retards, and it's all sports. It's not just ESPN. They're so fucking sanctimonious. Look, your audience, predominantly made up of alcoholic gamblers who don't pay enough attention to their kids or their family and who would really prefer a night with Tom Brady over their own wife sexually, honestly, and who sit around all Sunday with their like-minded friends and get loaded and make racial jokes and off-color jokes and sexist jokes and misogynist jokes.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. That's what you do. That's your fucking audience. Stop pretending like they're not those people, number one. I guarantee everyone who reads Bill Simmons' column or who listens to his podcast or Dave Dameshek's podcast, column, whatever, are not what you call delicate or born, their sensibilities aren't delicate. They're not born-again Christians. They're not Jehovah's Witnesses. They're nothing of the sort. They're just regular guys and the kind of guys that we spend every Sunday with over at Kimmel's watching games. You couldn't, you would literally have to lynch someone in front of them to offend them, and even then, they would probably shut up if you gave them a 12-pack. That's who you're dealing with. But no, you're so worried. Well, it's clearly overcompensation because you're dealing with a sport where half the guys in the league are criminals and the other half are becoming criminals by either they all beat the fuck out of their girlfriends in college, and then when they got to the pros, they ran over someone and they were drunk. They're completely overcompensating for a violent sport that's filled with violent people. So they overcompensate, and they don't want Bill Simmons coming on the show, and then they banned Dave Dameshek from coming on the show, and then everyone applauds that executive. Oh, that was a shrewd move. No, it wasn't, you fucking retard. You just lost money because one guy wrote a shitty letter or 5 guys wrote a shitty letter. You have now alienated the thousands of people who enjoy Bill Simmons on this show and who are possibly and potentially new ears for his podcast and new eyeballs for his column and who can generate more income for your shitty company. So whoever it is that made that decision, you're fucking retard. You're not a hero, you're a fucking idiot. And whoever your bosses are should be pissed off. Not happy about it. They should be pissed off because it's a fucking business. It's not a church. It's not like, well, we have certain standards. We have to make people feel a certain way. It's none of that. It's a pure and simple business with shareholders and bosses and CEOs and boardrooms, and you've made a horrible fucking business decision. Made a shitty, fucked up business decision. You've taken a couple of voices and put them above thousands of voices.
I'd be curious to see who wrote in to complain, if anyone.
First off, there could be no one. It doesn't have to be anyone.
Right.
Secondly, in today's email world, it's so fucking easy just to file something off and fire it off multiple times. And these people, these lemmings, these pussies, they respond to that shit. But the silent majority never gets heard.
Right. Now that the dust is settled, or the jizz, or whatever, do you think that he could ask his bosses to let him back on if they were to try to keep it a little more PG /
I'm sure with time, but let's not forget Dave Dameshek was scheduled to come on this show last week, and his fucking pussy, hack, retard bosses said, no, he can't come on this show.
What did he do?
He is under the umbrella of ESPN, and they don't want any of their family to come on. So, a genius, if you hear this, or if you're anyone who knows this person and wants to pass it along, let me send a personal message to you. Dear retard fucking hack. Good. Dave Dameshek, who's in 59th place on iTunes in the sports column and will never ever crack the top fucking 25, can now not go on a show that's a perennial top 10 show and by the way, I do a podcast. So the people who listen to this program are well versed in the podcasting.
And not only that, but Dameshek's fans listen to your show.
Right. So anyway, dear retard who should get fucking fired for making horrible business decisions and losing potentially thousands of dollars for his clients, you are not a hero. You're an idiot. And if it was up to me, I would shit can your pussy weak ass. And by the way, is this why you got into the business? To make cowardly decisions? Based on a couple of emails from, Shirley, what's her name, and her religious...
Phelps Roper.
Shirley Phelps.
It's so gross.
Good luck. You're pussy. You're pussy. Do you like that? You like when you wake up in the morning, you look in the mirror and see a big fat fucking pussy staring back at you? Does your wife know she's married to a pussy? Does your kids know that daddy's a pussy? It's awesome. You get a job and just become a giant fucking fat fucking pussy. Good. And good. Dameshek can go ahead and languish down in 59th place, and Bill Simmons won't get any new ears on his podcast via my show. Great decision, retards. Anything else you'd like to fuck up? Thank you.
That's a rhetorical question, and you end there?
I'm assuming there are more things they would like to fuck up.
Long list.
Yeah. I'm looking at the top 25 on iTunes, and I don't see Dameshek's or Bill Simmons anywhere on that fucking list, but I see my name on that fucking list, you fucking pussy retards. All right. Anyway, fucking idiots. Yeah, tell me where the BS report is, and then tell me where Dameshek is. All right, he's number what? 47. All right, all right. So
you're generally in the top
10. You're not going to let anyone from you're not going to let number 47 on the show, and then good luck finding Dave Dameshek and wherever he is on that list, because I don't know if that goes deep enough. And I like Dave Dameshek, but look, I don't know if he's in the top 100.